most of the time, but occasionally you do think that you at least see something happen.
She will
And she
seem
seems
very
rather
impressed
excited
those
at that.
times.
Yeah,
Say that she is much better at her age than many others.
as it's going to become a common thing, as the argument goes on, eventually Arvonic's just going to throw the pillow at you, and then just find a nice tree branch or something to sleep on. Just get a high view of this.
Pillow at who?
You.
I have her pillow. I don't need another
take
one.
both. Just if you're gonna be like that, is what he's saying.
No, what I'm saying is you can't.
Why don't my princess dragon just sleep on like silken pillows and sheets of gold?
Sure. But you can pay you didn't have a pillow. Here's my one. Go.
Yeah.
Tyraxis is already sleeping.
Arvonic's is not interested in an argument.
Arvonic's hisses at you. Says you gave her my pillow.
I suppose we take turns taking watch.
I mean, Arvonic's is already outside sitting on a tree branch now, so I guess he's watching first. But
sure.
The first watch is certainly the most pleasant because it's also the time where Avendra is still talking. Until she eventually tires herself out and actually shuts up and goes to sleep.
Finally. Oh, this is gonna be a bitch for Arvoc. She just hates you. Green dragons don't like humans. It's like, they're so ugly. They're so fleshy and pink.
You will behave.
I'll talk draconic. She won't know anything.
What's the moon like tonight, Sheep? Is it full moon?
You can't really see the moon because the
Cloudy.
sky is very, very cloudy.
Oh, it's gonna rain.
That's very disappointing.
The darker,
Yes.
the better.
There is no rain, but it looks like it might rain at any moment, really. And after a good day's worth of travel north, you are arriving back in familiar territory.
A day, you
Yay.
say?
A day, yes.
Okay.
Home sweet home.
Ah.
Were you healing?
Me.
Alright, you were really hurt. I forgot. Normally you're never hurt.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay, copy your tokens. We'll go back to your
Sorry,
hope path.
Does anyone else want today?
You better ask Dark to read copy.
Volnix will give one. Wait, what? I'll wait with healing until we do the other map then.
Fine, time to clear the board of Marcus. There we go. Where am I?
Finally.
I can't see the other one.
I don't know where we.
Yeah, 1 second, 1 second.
Invisible map.
That should work.
All the kobolds are dead.
They
Come on.
better not. We just got them freaking eggs. And
Where do we appear?
I'm kind of retired.
You're just west of the...
I took the
entrance.
girl. Oh god.
Bastards.
When I click her though, I can't see anything, so...
She doesn't have vision.
Let me... she does have vision, but she doesn't have dark vision. No,
Yes,
she has
Okay,
no vision.
I'll just select both her and me.
She's blind, is what you're saying right now.
Yeah, she is now omniscient.
We are home.
We're home.
Meet any kobold.
Coming back into your cave, you do see a rather strange sight.
Oh.
First of all, the tunnel is completed.
Yay!
Second of all, there's 4 kobolds arguing with each other, kind of pointing spears at each other and generally trying to look menacingly at the others.
What's...
You do notice that each of them has a different kind of face paint,
Oh no.
Oh.
representing, well, one of each of you, basically.
Oh.
Tyraxos hisses, what is the meaning of this?
Harry turns around, bows towards you, and just says, "Well, we have to make sure that nobody steals from the Horde, of course."
He nods. Of course. Has anyone been stealing from the Horde?
Well, of course not. This kobold runs up to Tyraxis and says, "Yes, master, I've been standing here all this time. They will not take anything from you."
Where's Carrie?
Tyraxos sort of rubs his face a little bit and says, I see. Does he have blue face paint?
Yes.
Hmm.
Harry seems to have white. This one is green. This one is sort of a color that somewhat represents Retex.
There's mixed white and blue.
Why is it not Gary who's green?
might be
Gary
too.
the saved.
Gary is
But
not here.
Harry is the only one that's not blessed. So
Tyrannosaurus looks at them. We are here now.
They
You
are not
can
supposed
you
to
can
be.
retreat back to your original positions. When we leave, you can assume your guard here.
How does the new eggs? How are they?
Oh, they will take some time to hatch yet.
Tyrannosaurus
Weeks, perhaps.
looks at them. Were there any sleeping bags or other items of comfort in the old dwarven cave?
Some, I believe.
Fetch them. We have a guest.
Yes, of course. And this one immediately
Kayak should
hurries
be
off.
so kind as to make a bit of light
The others
right,
chasing
I
after him.
suppose so.
for her to actually see something.
Avolix looked disappointed at the spot where the food is normally stored, noticing the fact that his ice has melted.
Tyrannosaurus
yeah.
crawls up on the horde, looks down at her. Do you not see the resplendent of the riches here?
I've expected more, to be honest.
His head droops. Oh,
Well, we thought that we would. Now that we have you, we don't need as many jewels and gold.
Sure.
they all pair in your comparison, don't they? Looking over at her kayaks.
Now, where could we find a good place for you to sleep? I think you better sleep in this side over here. Ainavak's over there. She doesn't like sleeping next to others.
She has gas.
She throws the pillow at Ragged.
Off, and does he tumble off the pile?
He stumbles a little bit, and a few like odds and ends of the pile sort of fall down in front of him, and he runs and says no, and then goes down and like puts him back into place. No, it must be just so. Yes.
Ragax will put her over here with her books, so you can
But
find
it's-
like a.
It's wet over there and cold over there. I don't want to sleep there.
How about where it is dry? He points towards the corner behind him.
Well, it's
That could
there.
work.
She'll plant herself right here.
But he blinks.
I guess it's like the beach.
Mumbles to himself.
I don't like sand much, but it's better than the rest.
I mean,
It
he's
is,
very-
isn't it? He nods,
very coldly
sitting down.
molded.
Sand is definitely preferable.
Well, I have a pillow now. Only one though.
I guess we'll have a sleeping bag brought for her.
The kobolds will produce a sleeping bag that looks somewhat dilapidated, but still good.
Tyraxus will order the... Wow, that's some sleeping bag, lady. Tyraxus will order the kobolds to bring more sand for him.
They will scurry off, pausing their other works. And after a few hours, they will even bring you a bunch of sand in buckets that they've looted from the dwarves.
Wonderful.
Looted sand.
They've looted the buckets, not the sand.
Okay.
They say that they've gotten the sand from the collapsed part of the rise to the north.
Volnix, here you go. Take this. Seem hurt. 11 HP.
He'll accept that, licking over his by now his icy wounds.
And you, for good behavior. There you go with 9.
Are you become like the teacher?
Okay, since I threw the pillow over there, I guess you can have that. That's not of kindness. It's just because I threw it.
Sure. Take your 9 hit points.
Thanks.
Your pillows have eyes, apparently. Let me disable
Well, that was the color in her bed.
you and all your tokens.
Well, I need more sand. Thanks.
Back.
Okay, you send it to... Let's see how I send it to...
Send
I
it
have-
back.
Very
I
nice.
can't... I would like it to put it on not the token layer.
Yeah, I'll pick an object. Oh, and it's not too good, apparently. There you go.
Great. Hmm.
10.
But Einamax will make it very clear that you can have the pillow just because you threw it that way. Not out of kindness.
There's water, there's food, and, you know.
But not to be mistaken, I kind of think she needs cooked food.
What?
Oh no. For now, at least. A character will, as she's falling asleep, he'll go over and he will sort of take a little bit of his blood and just say, drink this. And, like, drip it on her lips.
She stares at you, but doesn't really have the chance to react to you forcing blood into her mouth.
Just, now, when you sleep tonight, the dream you will have be very vivid and real. So,
Oh, I'm sure it will be very vivid. After
Just-
what happened today.
just enjoy. Let's say. Over here. He's gonna do the same to himself. He's gonna dream of a huge feast with all his favorite dishes. And that's what she will get too. Although with her it's probably gonna be like cake and yeah, whatever.
Whatever she likes.
Desserts in plenty.
I will take a short toilet break. I will be back in a moment.
All like in the dream, all of the napkins and such have like kayaks smiling on them.
Thumbs upping.
Yeah, and like it's like dragging chairs and such. That should keep her going at least. For tomorrow she should be fully sated the entire day. And it's also very nutritious, so that's good.
Dream food is very nutritious.
We have adopted a budding sorceress.
Mm.
Or wizardess, I guess.
I mean, drinking your blood, he's probably going to become a sorcerer, but...
No, it won't ever affect like that. Oh, my father knew this. Oof. He would eat her too. And all of you at this point.
That your father would say.
Well, if I'm supposed to treat her like my father treated me, I'll just pretend that she's not there.
You know, that seems like a good option.
Good.
Since I decided to move where I'm laying, this area over here is going to start frosting over soon.
What's wrong with that area over by the food?
It's too crowded.
She's too close there, yeah.
Let's see.
Also,
There's a reason my character wants to sleep
we're not
outside
really
the
going to
tent.
have a light in here except when we need to. If she needs anything, I guess she can wake up, like, chillax us. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a reason I slept outside the tent. My character likes his space.
I'm going to sleep here.
Personal
Yeah,
space.
She might need to go to the bathroom or something.
What is she gonna do when she needs to do that?
Go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Does human larvas even know that?
I would presume so.
She doesn't seem to be
Seems a very
soiled at the
simple-
moment.
Seems a very simple thing to deal with. Although I suppose if she eats in this fashion, it won't really need to
Go much.
be a problem. Because it's, you know, magic food.
Does magic food require magic food?
Yeah. She's gonna dine all night in whatever she wants, really. In a marvelous Rakayak's themed dining hall.
You know, maybe we should move the food over there then.
If she tries to leave, though, she'll just go back into it. Like, all doors leads to the same place. Or just another dining hall with even more food. So,
Oh,
Where
that's
did,
cute.
where did you want to move food to?
Next to you.
Oh, so it stays fresh.
Yeah. Are we giving her wall hangings?
Yes.
Okay.
I see.
What
I
are you
see.
giving her?
Can you
Warhangings? Okay.
Can you move the food over to the ice dragon?
You know, I'm supposed to be preserving it, but I'm too close. Too many people on that side of the room now. My character gets nervous around large people, large crowds.
Where did you get that blue sapphire?
I found it in the pile. It is mine. He holds on to it. It is beautiful.
Can I have a green one?
Maybe.
then it wouldn't be a sapphire, technically.
No, but that would be a jade, I suppose.
Or an emerald.
Emerald. I want an arrow. Can I have an arrow emerald?
If there is one, I suppose.
Let's go digging for one.
Just dive into like a dolphin.
Like
Guy
Scrooge
puts
McDuck.
like a jar of salt he took from the kitchen and puts it in the water. And smiles happily. The salty water.
I think it's gonna be
It'll taste much better now.
Rakaya Tyraxos holds up a paper. It seems to be an inventory of the pile. It says, "I do think I did see an emerald. Try beneath the different chainmails over there." Pointing.
I'm looking for treasury stuff, but we should.
Yep. There it is.
God.
Oh my god!
Probably
that
not
is-
that big, but it's close enough.
I can't move it.
Let me make it a token.
That's a nice
because-
emerald.
It's a very nice emerald. Oh my!
Much
You know,
like your
these
eye.
things,
Yeah.
as they are on this map, are not as they are, but as you see them.
It's perceived.
You
I
can
have-
make it smaller though.
I have a few thousand gold on me, and my goal is in the sapphire. Or in the, yeah, this is sapphire.
I'll
I
hold
think.
it. Can you put it underneath me?
Like hog it.
No, not like that.
On your face.
No, here, but
Oh, we lost DDS.
arrange it to the back. It's underneath my pillow.
You know, Rakai is perfectly fine with just resting on top of chest, like curled up. His tail close to his snout. Oh,
It's a green dragon, blue dragon thing, I think.
he's dreaming about having a great dinner full of wonderful salty seafood, like smoked crabs and like finely spiced venison and everything. It's great.
Well then, you can certainly settle down to sleep.
Yep. Does our fateful Wormseer report anything special? Has anything happened while we were gone?
He's not called Wormseer.
It's
Well, he is a
Skrillex.
Wormseer. He's Skrillex the Wormseer.
He certainly sees worms on occasion. He does not have anything immediate to report.
Good.
He does, however, say that the big drakes really weren't very edible
No.
at all.
Well,
Well.
so be it. Also, Skrillex, this human here is not to come to harm.
Yes, she's under our protection, and if she is harmed in any way, it will be hell to pay.
She, although, shouldn't really leave this place without us. No. So
Guard her and stop her from leaving, but do not harm her.
So if she walks into the kobold stuff, she is to be escorted right back here.
Maybe there's some very cuddly kobold that she can.
also inform them that she does not have magic, even if she says she does.
She
You don't need to be
disagrees.
You know, we're speaking Draconic. She doesn't get a say.
Okay, she would disagree with you.
I know. I don't know tell her that. I actually listen very patiently to all her stories and how much magic she can do.
So then, you've arranged the meeting in a week's time, which would be 6 days from now since you took a day to travel here. Avendra will also inform you that she is pretty certain that it's impossible for you to probably keep track of the time, isn't it? Because how would you know, like, which day it is? And she will probably inform you that it is indeed the end of Lamashan, the 31st, and it's almost Nef. She's very proud about sharing that information.
Well, maybe she
Very
should
much
be on
thank you.
calendar.
Could just buy one.
Like we should build an astrolabe or some like super elaborate clock.
Regardless, I suppose we should not too long begin making our way over to the hill. We can camp like in the forest, where we're a little more protected. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we won't stick around here for too long, I don't think. Maybe the next day even we should begin to make our way there.
Getting to the one tree hill is about half a day. Might be even shorter if you took a shortcut through the forest.
I have a fairy that this girl would love. But he would hurt her, so... You know, if not her physically, then her feelings.
Yep. Because he's a mean bastard.
Like he did to us.
Yeah, I've let's look around here, hunt for some more food, gather some more resources, and then when it's time, we move out.
I can actually stay here with her.
Sure. If you would not, give me survival checks.
The less she sees out here, the better.
Einavox finds enough for a day in various rodents. So does Avolnix. Rexus has no luck.
Oh, I thought I just need to get out for a while. That's the reason he wasn't getting anything.
You can also get another healing then. I mean, basically, after 6 days, they're going to be fully healed. Even if I don't do anything. And she can dream of food every night.
She will certainly
Getting
tell you.
sated for the day.
She will certainly tell you exciting stories of all the things she ate in her dreams.
Yeah. He'll say that it is real, and that he's doing it, and that he will keep doing it if she likes it.
So then, what
You,
are
you
your
say that
plans?
while we're next to her eating rodents. It's like, rodents or...
I don't have anything I want to do before we do like the exchange itself.
Go around, strut power of the kobold, look impressive at them.
Sure, I mean that's
Let them pander us.
sure.
I can actually try to befriend this girl as much as damn humanly possible. Dragonly possible, even. Basically, diplomacy every day, I suppose, to befriend or to raise
roll me
her opinion of us.
Just one diplomacy check, basically.
I mean,
One.
Tyraxus will help
That's
out in
dangerous.
this. He likes manipulating this girl. That's quite something he
It's a
enjoys.
4.
Um,
But it might be more fair over a long time to take a 10.
Over a long time, that would be one check taking 10. I can see that working.
Alright, I'll do that instead then. That would be a 23. In sort of average, I suppose.
23, 15 and 21 is not a 23 average, but I see your point, yes. It is certainly enough
I
that
thought you would be
she...
assisting.
I was assisting.
Alright, assisting, yeah. 23 is certainly more than enough to make her at least, kind of like you think?
And at the same time, talk, down about what her dad did to us.
Oh yeah.
Because he's a bad guy.
Yes.
Are we going to give her Stockholm syndrome?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, we are probably right about it, because we don't really treat her bad.
She would certainly be considered helpful at this point. Although the downside is that she will repeatedly try to pet all of you.
He can pet Rekax.
Tyraxus will.
But he will
steal
warn her,
himself.
because he does actually have spikes in his scales, so I guess the first time she does it, she might stab herself a little bit, and he'll heal her up, and say that she should be very careful with petting us, because we have hidden spikes on our scales. We can't really help it, to think.
That's true.
Tyraxus will nod, and also you might feel a strange tingling sensation. It is the lightning I create.
She can pet Einavox, but she basically looks like a cat with very big eyes at her every time she does it.
She will do it anyways.
Whenever she comes close, Avonix will just release his cold aura into the ground, just like, that's cold.
He hides in his cape. Nobody's home.
Hide under the cloak and make the cloak really cold.
Yeah, so a week of stories, tales, lies,
I'm petting.
Petting and hunting.
And petting and hunting.
The kobolds will certainly in that week report that they are making good progress digging out the lair.
Good.
Although-
good.
Skurvix will inevitably mention again that their food situation is really not as good as you think it might be.
I mean, I guess any excess for food we can throw at them, right?
Should we just spend like 500 gold? Yeah. Should we just like spend 500 gold in the village and just cart like a wagon load of food and just shove it into the cave?
That's what Ironworks looks like.
No, we can't do that because it will get stuck in the cave door.
That's true.
I will tell him that we will go raiding soon.
He is happy with that. He will also inform Terexus specifically that they have installed a support beam in the central cavern.
That's very good.
Upon inspection, you see that they have probably pillaged one of the large wooden logs that the dwarves use and kind of just put it in the middle. It's not really supporting anything.
That's great. Well, good work.
It's leaning against the roof, though.
Good work, Scrivix. Good work. Did he want to plan raids to the south? Was that something he wanted?
Road, yes.
He suggested that you might perhaps consider the possibility
Something we might do.
of raiding the caravans currently going to Kermaga from the south.
Sounds great. We should
We
definitely
would, we
do
would
that.
bring the kobolds, and they would probably carry a lot of the stuff we
Oh.
found back home. But we would be the ones to actually do the fighting.
The time for that, however, is running out. As soon as storm season starts properly, the caravans will disappear almost immediately.
So we need to do it now, basically?
Well,
Not
I mean,
now,
we should
but
deliver this girl
soon.
first.
Very soon.
Sure. I'll deliver
Well,
girl.
taking her out raiding. It's crazy.
Look here. This is how you raid.
Well then, I guess you just wait the week, basically.
Well, spend it with her.
Spend it with her. Alright.
Making her life exciting and making her happy and, you know.
Yeah, she can talk to dragons. And the dragons are very friendly.
I'll be happy.
Basically, it's whatever, like any teenage girl's dream, right? She is special
I'll be out.
and
I'll be out
unique and
hunting.
has special powers and dragon friends. We'll be very sad to see her go.
Her secret magical dragon.
Her father has kidnapped our friend, and we'd so miss not having him with us. So hopefully, she won't hate us too much.
Oh, Vincent. Will you ever be with us again?
Forlornly.
And so it is then the 6th of Nef, the day that you want to do the exchange. The weather is slowly but consistently worsening, getting colder, the clouds seeming to build towers, just enormous pillars of just blackness.
What you're saying is it's amazing.
It looks rather amazing, but also somewhat frightening. As said, clouds haven't really done anything over the past week except accumulate.
You know?
But for now, the weather is holding more or less. There's, of
Well-
course, the occasional rain, but not really a rainstorm. Not as much as the clouds suggest.
Does anyone around here know if this area snows at all? I'm hoping for a snowstorm.
Probably most places do.
Amanda can
colder.
inform you that yes, it does indeed snow occasionally. Usually straight after the storms. Looking at the clouds, those storms should come very soon.
A very amused look on Avonix.
Does Ironworks believe in that?
Yes.
Okay.
Mostly would be geography.
Yeah, a very amused look on Avonix.
Although, if we live here, I guess, have we seen snow before? And I think the answer would be yes.
Has
I mean,
Ironworks seen snow before here?
Yes, you
Does
have.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, I'm truly. I live north of here, but yeah.
When is your
I guess we bring
ice-
her there.
gonna appear?
Through the forest, probably. A little detour into the forest, asking the fairy to just show us the direct way. We have a guest, as it happens. Because we actually don't want her to be able to lead the wizard to our lair.
True.
You know?
Alright. Copy your tokens.
And we'll, cover her eyes as we move out or move in the night or something, so she can't really make out where we are.
Copy your tokens as we will skip the interaction with the fairy because Finian is excited that you have brought a guest, and that guest is so polite, unlike some others, and actually listens to the things he's saying.
Tyraxus will give him a stern look.
That's perfectly fine. We'll say that we often converse with fairies in the creature of the forest because they're so fun and likes to play games.
Whimsical and yes, fun.
And if she were to come find us at some point and then stay with us for a longer while, we might introduce us to some of our friends. But we wouldn't want it to show that now, just to take it away from her. That would be cruel. So, there's one thing we are not, it's cruel.
Bluff check.
I mean, some of you are cruel. Some of us are just like, yeah, whatever.
I'm not cruel.
Where are we supposed to go?
I am preparing the place because...
I'm a nice track. You know, reasonable.
Give me a moment.
I don't like hurting people.
And there we go. Then put your tokens right here.
I can't see where you're pointing.
I'm assuming there.
Where?
It's very dark right now, it seems.
The north end is the Ashwood, whereas the south is basically... at what time of day are you here, basically?
Well, we're probably here in the morning. So that
You're here in the morning
Yes,
and are just waiting for people to arrive.
probably.
In which case...
We're probably going to keep ourselves a little bit hidden until they make themselves,
Alright.
So Rakaix will ask the tree to make sure that it does watch out for him.
You ask the tree. The tree does three things.
Is there a nice location of Onyx can get a nice view from the trees?
The Ashwood is on a slight elevation, so any situation, any location in the trees is decently okay to see things from. I'm just doing a thing here. Give me a moment. All right.
So we should be able to see further when it's not night, right?
Yes. Give me a moment.
To get a good view out.
We'll just turn the.
I think we'll also, Rakaix will also say that it is regrettable, but it's better if she doesn't make noise right now. So, if she would please just accept having this bind over her mouth.
She is very displeased, but considering how you've treated her over the last week, she will not complain.
We don't want her father to think that we've been too nice because, we want him to, after all, be worried about you, so that he will be very kind to you when you go back.
Can I have her Arcana book?
Do you ask her or do you
I don't
take it
think
from
we need
her?
it.
She'll ask.
She will say no, she needs it.
It's useless to you as well. Unless you plan to take wizard levels, which I don't think you do.
No.
We'll have a book.
There's another Ina box on this map.
Yes, because it's the same map, I think. No matter.
Oh yeah, you're still in the purple cave. Let me fix that. And yeah, this morning as you kind of position yourselves, and some hours do go past, and at what you think should be around noon, you do see some people approaching the place here. It is a group of 3 people moving up. They, from this distance, look rather heavily armored and very well equipped. They walk forward slowly. They
If it's
converse.
those 3 adventurers.
It's not those 3 adventurers. You can scroll
Aw.
down. They are on the
I
map
don't
already.
see anything. They're invisible.
They're invisible.
I'm sorry. They are visible now. I think. Are they? Yes. All
There
right.
you are.
This Johnny seems to be a nice guy.
Johnny.
They
Silky.
converse between each other for a moment as the supposed leader of them puts down his large weapon and walks forward.
They don't seem to have the person we want with them.
No.
No.
They have arrived with a wagon and horses, kind of a few meters behind them,
Off camera.
off camera basically.
Oh my.
As he walks forward and then just in the general direction of both the tree and kind of the forest in general, just shouts, "We are here! Show you!"
Sure. I guess Rakaix will move slightly out. Just we are in the sort of an incline here, so they should be able to see us from this distance. She has the girl with the bind over her mouth, and her sort of arms bound the tether to him.
He nods in your general direction and says, I would like to speak to one of you.
You
I'm
can
unarmed.
speak to all of us, or you can come over here then.
He frowns. Sighs, moves forward.
Show us that you have brought him as well.
He stops, gestures to his two companions, one of them going back to the wagon.
And that he is unhurt. I would like to hear him say that.
A little while he comes back with a clear prisoner who shouts over to you, "Oh, I'm flattered that you would go through so much trouble to free me. I must have really made an impression."
Does it
And
appear to be Vincent?
Yes, the voice certainly does.
Well, we only saw a helmet, didn't we?
Yeah, you basically only saw a helmet and generic guard armor before, but it certainly sounds like the voice.
Akax looks to the tree. Give us some sign that it's the right one.
The trees jingle a bit, but it's very hard to actually interpret if they are saying anything to you.
Right. Last time she was rather very, very showful with her sign. So
Tyraxos says, or shouts out, "What did you tell us when we first met, Vincent?"
Oh, I told you many things. I think too many even. You looked rather bored after a while.
Tyraxos nods towards Rakayax.
you might as well. Good then. Look to Surigorison. And what do you have to say?
It is not I who has things to say. The person who paid us to handle this exchange would speak for himself. Not directly as he is, well, otherwise he wouldn't have paid us to do this, but he has found a means to talk to you from relative safety. As he very slowly, showing his hands basically where they're going, reaches into the pocket of one of his large bags and pulls out
A pyro.
a bomb. No, a small statue that he walks.
He's doing the Zacharias.
He walks slightly forward, puts down the statue, takes a step back, and the statue kind of turns around towards you, and simply says, and the statue starts indeed talking and says, "Well, would you look at that? You look so much bigger from down here. Quite majestic, really. Big teeth and all. I wish to apologize for this whole mess, first of all. One misunderstanding followed by another, schedules, deadlines, little time for conversation and explaining things. If you had been in my shoes, you would have understood why I did what I did, I'm sure."
You seem to be under misapprehension that we care about you and your motives, wizard.
Well, you don't really have to care, but if you look at it objectively, then what I did was simply give you shelter and food, a safe place, really. Perhaps not the most enviable of existences, but certainly better than most of your previous situations.
I'm sure you can explain that very well to your daughter.
Yes, you certainly have something that I would rather you not have. But you also misunderstand how much power exactly you have. You see, I did not have to do what I did here. Vincent over there, oh well, he took a while to crack, but he has certainly given me the proof that I needed for some of my things and more information as well. As far as I'm concerned, well, I'm still debating whether it is better to keep Vincent and let you keep my daughter than the other way around, really.
Director snorts. What use is he to you? He is a half-drunk and half-idiot. He knows nothing.
Yes, that's what you would like me to believe, isn't it? but I know better. I know many things that said many things would rather not have me know. But I came here to talk, to explain, to perhaps, well, have you reconsider your opinion about me?
No.
What gifts have you brought to soothe our minds?
I've brought the gift of understanding, of knowledge, of realizing, and I have another gift for you, yes. But first, I would like you to just sit down for a moment. Try to start anew, a blank slate, a new table, or however that saying goes. You see, I'm not a bad person, really. I'm really not. I'm not cruel, You see, it is simply that... Just think about it for a moment. When the well-being of so many is threatened, would you rather spend your time convincing others of impending danger? Especially those vital to overcoming said dangers, or would you simply start acting and accept the consequences? It certainly sounds ruthless, I suppose, and it is, I suppose, but it was necessary. There is, indeed, a great, great danger, a threat looming over us all, even yourselves. Perhaps especially yourselves. You would not be the victims of said dangers, no. You see, you would be the weapons. There's a force out there planning to take your kind to turn into mindless soldiers.
Ironic, isn't it?
Quite ironic,
If you
yes.
would be saying that. If you
Quite
wish to
ironic.
empower us, then send us gifts that we can use to fight. Become our servant. As it should be. Then you might make yourself useful.
The statue just smiles broadly. Yes, yes, and trust the well-being of so many to a bunch of, well, children, really.
Higher beings, I prefer.
Children of higher beings, whatever. I would rather not do that either way.
Well, I guess you're out of luck then.
But we do not have to be enemies, you see. I understand that what I did was perhaps wrong, perhaps not really enjoyable for you, but I am working on a solution, and I am very, very close. And as it stands, I would rather not spend as many resources as I have been to recapture you when I could perhaps convince you to offer your cooperation instead.
Then what means have you brought that could convince us? I am still
Yes.
eager to see these gifts.
What
Valuable.
compensation would we be offered for such help?
Oh, let's see. On the one hand, there's being turned into mindless weapons without any sort of free will whatsoever.
We should have no
On the
proof
other
that
hand-
this is happening at all. It is just your words, human.
It is my words, yes, a theory, alright? There are proofs that are simply unobtainable for me without you as it stands. Of course, I could restart from square one, find some other wormlings to use. Perhaps this time I would change my approach, would try to convince them instead of just taking them, although that would be, well, let's see, a few months to find the right specimens, another few months to bribe them with gifts, another few months to convince them of things, and oh, look at the time, it's already over, and
You keep
everyone is
talking
dead.
about gifts, but I still haven't seen any.
I'm not here to give gifts.
Yeah, then let's have this transaction then.
Your
You
words
really
are
are-
hollow, wizard. Your betrayal in the past lingers heavy upon you. Whatever you say we would not believe. You are a fool to even attempt it. Especially since you are speaking in such riddles.
It shows simply your desperation.
Desperation, yes. It is strange, though, because it should not be me who's desperate. It should be, well, both of us, really, because...
Think of how
It
many
is-
lives you will have on your conscience because your methods were so cruel as they were. Think of how many you could save if you had just but cared a little bit.
caring takes time, however, and that is one of the things I do not have. I see that you are rather thick-headed as well. You are indeed thick-headed as a species, I must say. I've seen it. But I would like to propose something. If you do not want to even consider cooperation at this moment, how about a ceasefire of sorts? You will do nothing to prevent me from achieving the things I'm trying to achieve, which have nothing to do with you, and I will no longer use valuable resources to try to recapture you.
That sounds great.
I would also like to offer an invitation to, well, my tower, really. You know where it is. You've been there after all. I know the top is rather scorched, but that's getting repaired. You will be free to leave at any time. I shall use the opportunity of your visit to present my research fully, which cannot quite be expressed in words, hence why I'm having difficulties convincing you. And should you like what I'm presenting you, you may stay. I will offer proper shelter this time, proper food, and I will even make the painkillers optional if you want to. I will, of course, still require certain things of you, but it is necessary for my research.
A counterproposal then. You come here into the Ashwood, and there we can speak freely.
Oh,
That sounds like
no,
a much
thank
better
you.
idea.
No, thank you. I know what the Ashwood is. I know who the Ashwood is.
And it is
And-
not important enough to you to trust that nothing bad will happen when you come here with good intentions. I see how it is then. No good intentions. Well, then I don't think we will be visiting you.
No good intentions indeed, but not from my end. You see, there are few things that would not be affected at all by what is soon to, well, transpire, and the Ashwood is one of them. So why would the Ashwood care about all this? Why would
Exactly.
Why would it care about?
Impartiality.
Why would it care about everything or anything apart from its hatred for me? It is not
suppose
I
there's
who
a
manipulated you.
chance you would have to take.
I was straightforward with you. I did what I had to do, and I made no promises to do otherwise. No, I've not given any promises I couldn't keep.
Or any choice, for that matter. I do not think we will be visiting you in your tower.
Very well then.
And if you would stay away, you can come visit us in the Ashwood, where we are residing near the middle. So come there.
I would like to just give you one important piece of advice that you may consider or discard immediately. Choose your allies very carefully. There are those that might seem to have, well, good intentions, as you put it, but seeming and being is a very different thing. And the Ashwood is among the things famous for its seeming. A powerful force indeed, but nothing more than a force of nature, like the wind and the sun. They don't care, they care as little as I do. Less, even. Well then, I suppose that's one last thing to do, although without you, Vincent has just shot up in value, I tell you.
Make your choice quickly then.
And it was not from you that the request came to get him back, is it? You don't want him.
Maybe.
Make your choice, wizard. I grow so tired of you speaking.
He smiles at you. The statue at least smiles at you. Alright then. Here's my decision then. Keep my daughter. I will keep Vincent. There's one more thing, however. A proof, perhaps, that might convince you of my... Well, at least that my theory is correct. I cannot convince you of my good intentions, of course, because intentions aren't just that. You see, if I had irrefutable proof of what is going to happen, I would have gone to some higher-ups, authorities, whatever. But as it stands right now, there's only me who actually believes in the danger at all. And that will mean that said danger is indeed a danger. There is a place that may contain just the information I need, that contains the information you need to believe me. You see, on the Sovel Rise, the big cliff over there that separates the valley and the Cinderlands, it's said to contain many secrets. Kaer Maga is of course one of them. Big city, hexagon with lots of dungeons below it. Nobody really knows what's in them, at least not in the bottom floors, but that's not important. There's something else in it. If my theories are correct, now buried inside of the Rise is an old temple that used to sit on top of the Rise. My business partner and I have had hired some people to excavate that temple, and it has been some time now, and while they have not reported any successes yet, I'm sure they soon will. I can send a runner to the team, informing them of your arrival, with the orders to cooperate with you. If you want proof that there is indeed a danger, then I am almost certain that you will find it in said temple.
Such a brilliant trap.
Yeah,
Now, it is also worth noting that we need Vincent. And if he is not delivered to us, not only will you weaken our position and thereby making us better slaves for whatever you're fearing will happen, but also you're making a truce rather hard on us, as we will still have to try to regain him. If your daughter isn't worth enough to you, maybe something else will be.
Oh, you misunderstand. My daughter is worth a lot to me. I've kept her safe all this time, despite the sacrifices I've had to make. But my daughter is nothing compared to the well-being of, well, entire civilizations. I cringe at the thought to have my daughter in your claws much longer. But I will accept it, because sacrifices
Give us
are what
Vincent,
great
and
men
we
have
might
to do.
consider visiting you. You know me as someone who holds my word.
I need to stack the
Depending
odds
on
in
whether
my favor,
how
I'm afraid.
nicely he has been treated.
I cannot work on too many maybes. I cannot just give you things and hope and pray. I am not quite that desperate yet. This is not a conflict that the gods are going to intervene in, I'm afraid, so praying is pointless. It is down to the common man to save the world here.
You're only making more enemies right now.
If
I should
that
say
is
he
the way
told
it
you
has to be,
once.
then so
Yes.
be it. I will get you back one way or the other.
No, you will die trying, and then all of your efforts will be for naught.
If
Oh,
you
it will
truly do
never
not
be me
believe
who
we are
comes after you.
fighting, should fight each other, then stop fighting. He sort of looks to the girl and sees what she looks like now that her father is basically abandoning her.
She doesn't seem to know what to think, really. On the other hand, she didn't really seem very eager to go back in the first place. On the other hand, hearing her father basically give her up is certainly a shock. She is speechless, which in the week you have talked to her, you would know is a rather rare occurrence.
Mechanics then looks to the mercenaries here. Says, how much did he pay you?
Enough.
You're carrying all that gold, perchance.
And how much more would you need to be paid to simply give over Vincent here and spare everyone a bad time?
Too much. Money is one thing, our honor and reputation a whole different one.
Should we just attack?
I don't think we can take him, and they would just kill Vincent.
True.
You know, at least the wizard doesn't have Vincent then, right?
I don't remember if she
If we
said.
can't have him, we deprive him of the resource.
Well, look, actually, again, sell the tree. Says, you need to do something now, or they will get away with him. We are really trying hard here, but we need your aid, Lady Ashwood. Something for something, you say, but there are some things it seems that we cannot do. We have done everything you asked for.
The trees don't really give an answer, but from some distance inside the forest, you hear two distinct human screams of, well, surprise and pain. Something that just for a moment seems to shock the mercenary rather badly, but he recovers his poker face quickly.
And says, surprised at the sound.
I do not know what you're talking about. I do not care what you're doing to your prisoners back there. It does not faze me.
He sort of looks to the wizard statue. Says, maybe you care.
Oh, I don't know why I should. Roll me a sense motive.
Can we all do that?
Yes.
Oh, he doesn't care. All right.
The Rexes would realize that both the Rexes and Avonix would realize that Zuri over here, the mercenary, said the words that he doesn't care, perhaps with too much conviction.
Tyraxus will hiss and then grin evilly towards him. Oh, but you do, Zuri. It is obvious in the way you try. You're putting up a brave show, I give you, yes, but you do care, don't you? Yes. And we can make the pain stop. We can silence those screams. To save you those you care about. All you need to do is give over Vincent. If you don't, their torments will be endless.
The wizard is to blame. He's a cruel, evil man. He may not have showed up to do so, but you're serving someone who is not worth it. The forest is only a power of nature, and this man is a servant of nature. One of the druidic folk, so to speak. We are but the voices of something greater inside the forest. As I said, we need him, because the forests need him. You are doing a disservice to good nature and what is right in this world by keeping him away. You know that our kind rarely act as speakers or servants of something else.
Oh, I know your kind, all right. Very well then. We will take the wizard's daughter and our two members in exchange for the boy. Vincent looks absolutely shocked at being called a boy. And the statue spins around and says, I paid you. You can't do
Tyraxus
this.
shoots lightning at the statue to destroy it.
Alright.
Steps out, just shoots it, smashes it to pieces.
The statue doesn't really have saves, but your aim is basically good enough to hit it straight on, and it just shatters.
He sniffs. Now that annoying, prattling buffoon has been taken care of, perhaps we can do this exchange.
Come closer.
With Vincent.
Bring Vincent with you.
He will not.
Have they hurt you, Vincent? Have they mistreated you?
Oh, a little bit, but that's to be expected, I think. They certainly have not mistreated me as badly as certain other four-legged creatures have.
He'll remove the gag from Avandra and say, and now, Avandra, after hearing what your father has to say about you, do you still want to go back? As he looks to Zuri. Or has his treatment of you through your life shown, well, what he will do after he gets you back?
I mean, he does seem pretty convinced that something bad is going to happen. And it's pretty noble that he would give up his only daughter, despite...
It is up to you. I would not want to give you over to someone if that would put you in danger and harm. And I'm sure these good mercenaries, although good they have paid, do not want the reputation of bringing runaway daughters back to their abusive fathers, who would only imprison them in a manner for the rest of their life. And he'll try, perhaps if he can, to do a diplomacy to,
We can still offer a not the perfect life to be sure, but a life of adventure and excitement.
Aren't we trying to get Vincent here?
a life of magic. Yes, but the hope is that they will do that for their 2 members and simply not want to deal with this wizard anymore.
Yeah.
He's clearly not a good kind of guy.
No.
So, yeah,
Diplomacy check is fine.
you would want to assist me, Jonas?
Sure, I can assist.
Hmm,
That's an assist. Just barely.
22.
I will spare you the vivid description of her tears, but she does nod weakly and say, "I want to stay with you."
He looks to the to Zuri, say, "Let this daughter's own words be testament to the cruelty of the man you would bring her back to."
We will not. We will not interfere if you decide to do so either way, but do know that she does not wish it.
It would
And to
be
bring her
forced
back,
against her will.
and to bring her back into captivity and imprisonment, it is quite cruel. Look
He
at her
harvests
tears.
the living, the young, for reagents for his rituals. I'm sure you can imagine the pain. As he looks to the fairy, asking it to bring their members here.
You do indeed hear a familiar high-pitched voice going, "Oh, look what I found!" As he is basically leading to rather dilapidated people, kind of covered in vines and spider webs and thorns,
Bring him over here.
dazed and pretty much, helpless.
2 for 1, a good deed, and, well, you can be rid of this whole problem. Your reputation will not suffer from, well, refusing to deal with such a man. His reputation is not good. Not with
Your
the people of the
reputation-
forest, not with the land, not with anyone.
Your reputation will even soar when it is known that we refused such a corrupt request.
Zuri here looks at you, his poker face being betrayed by a clear rage hiding just below the surface. She answers, "I know your kind well enough to know that your words mean nothing. I have fought your kind many times. I will accept the exchange. The 2 people you have somehow caught in the forest, for your friend over there. Keep the woman. I do not care that her father is corrupt or cruel."
Thraxus nods. Understood. Then we have a deal.
Let it be known that we will meet again.
You will release him, you will go back to your people and send him over here. Then we will release them and you will release him.
He nods, goes back a few steps.
The forest will watch over this deal. Make sure that it all goes accordingly.
As these 2 here, Vincent's still bound but able to walk. They let them walk forward.
To be unbound, I suppose. Or they don't trip him or something. So
Vincent
mechanics will
stops as
pull the vines off of these 2.
Vincent stops for a moment as he's being told by the mercenaries, waiting for the other 2 people to arrive. Vincent looks like he wants to be here. He is walking with confident steps and smiling broadly.
Mechanics will remove their vines, and then sort of take them over here to make them move forward.
Right,
Stay a little way and let them go and meet Vincent sort of in the middle. None of them have a stronger bow or something, right?
No.
No spells.
They have no weapons drawn and they don't look like they are going to try anything at the moment.
Sure. Well, let's do the exchange then.
Yep.
Vincent greets these 2 politely, who just stare back.
Yeah, let's go out. Know that we did not want it to come to this. We are not as cruel as you might think. And perhaps just at some time, think of us. Ask others who have met us of how we treated them. Few have perished, and not by our hand. We are not here to cause destruction or hurt. We simply want to be left in peace from those who would use us as dogs or cattle. We have no intention of letting our bodies be harvested by cruel men for their magical rituals. Perhaps for a moment you could hope to believe me.
We are not your enemies, good mercenary. In fact, in the future, I do think we can indeed be friends.
To me, you are simply dragons. That is enough. See, walks away.
Thank you, regardless. You have done a good and righteous thing today.
And smart. Director then looks at Vincent.
Goes to console Avendra.
Yes, of course.
Vincent approaches you, his hands still bound behind his back.
He
I do
Director
have
just
to,
walks up and like slashes it with his claws, slashes the ropes.
I do have to thank you. That was very gracefully handled. Although I am surprised. How did you catch those two?
Tyraxos grunts and says, "We have friends in the forest."
Oh, so you've met her, haven't you?
Yes.
Who was it who brought you to her after I was indisposed?
The pixie.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes.
You see, it was rather unfortunate that my plan didn't quite work out the way I had hoped it would. It was also not very helpful that I found myself imprisoned after I woke up, but that was just one of many things that didn't quite go well.
Well, it seems to me that we are, in a sense, even then. You helped us escape, we helped you escape.
Oh, yes, indeed. Don't worry about it, though. I'm not one of those, balance, give and take people. No, not quite. I certainly appreciate the sentiment, but it's not my thing. You see, if you ever need me for something in the future, then I will be happy to assist. You do seem like rather cute fellows.
Thank you. And we might. This girl has been left by her father, abandoned for grander projects of magic, I'm sure. Such a thing is cruel. My character actually feels a little bit here because, it's that her father didn't quite want to eat her, but he certainly wasn't very nice either. So,
I do have to say those mercenaries were rather polite. As much as it might have looked that I really was a prisoner all this time, they treated me rather well. The bounds were really just for show, I think. What did they call themselves again? Something worm finders or something. Well,
I'm sure Lady Ashwood will want to commune with you. She seemed quite insistent when she spoke to us. Apart from that, we can certainly use some of your services if you survive the meeting with her. More trade with the nearby villages, for instance.
oh yes, she certainly does want to meet with me, but that is rather easily handled, isn't it? He goes, kind of pets the tree, moves back. That was that then. Oh, I understand. She has shown herself, like, all the way, hasn't she? She doesn't do that often. It takes a lot of her strength. I suppose it is difficult to just talk to the trees otherwise, since they don't really speak or do anything, or act in any way, shape or form
they seem
as
to
anything other
answer
than a tree.
when needed.
They certainly do. And if you listen closely, you can even understand what she's trying to say. It is, however, an acquired skill, not one that you can just pick up.
I imagine.
I can tell you that she is rather ambivalent because she is currently sleeping. But I'm sure she'll be excited once she wakes up, whenever that might be.
Mostly he's just sort of, trying to console
Yes,
the girl.
yes. We pet the girl and be like, there.
And Vincent doesn't really seem to make any move towards her, and is kind of awkward just trying to talk about anything that is not the girl.
Now, you being with the wizard so long, and infiltrating his tower, and then listening to his questions, perhaps then you can tell us about this great evil that he so fears.
Oh, how I would love to do that, but there have been complications when infiltrating a tower as you see it. I could never quite access the top level. I was afraid of wards, and as one day I figured, well, if a guard just stumbled in there, especially if he was a new one, there would not be any repercussions. So I tried, but I fell asleep. I think there was some magic involved, and I got rather shouted at. I did, however, gain his trust over time. I think I was one of his favorite guards, and he often talked to me about something or another, but he never really shared any specifics. I asked, of course, but he was like, oh, you would need to read my research to understand, and all these things.
We did read some of his papers, in which he mentioned some sort of being where he perhaps traded. Traxxas seemed thinks back. Was it actually because we read some of his notes? Did he mention, like, because he was like talking to someone, right? Someone great and powerful. You know that. Remember the letter that was crossed out and stuff. And he was like, "You must help me because otherwise." Do you remember?
I certainly do.
I'm asking the others.
I know.
Yes, but I don't know the name.
Was it addressed to someone?
You could roll an intelligence check to try to remember.
That's a natural 20, I think.
It was definitely addressed to one Empress Sunta.
Right. So he wrote to Santa, needing her help and willing to trade like us to her. Can you, if I roll a natural 20, could you repost the letter?
I would have to find it.
Basically, he was selling us out
Yeah.
to the
I know.
person whom he's saying is going
That
to
he-
enslave us.
Exactly.
Essentially, the gist of the letter was that Empress Sunta has something he wants, and in return for a visit and a chance to study it, he would basically trade. He would be willing to trade away one of you.
So he's selling us off to the Empress Santa, who is dominating dragons. He is lying through and through.
As it turns out, now we have adopted a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, adopted daughter. Great.
You know,
sure,
Rakax will certainly accept such a plight. The others don't. The others don't really seem to like people very much.
No, Tyraxos loves people.
He was once adopted, though, Rakax. You know, he was adopted by an ogre. Well, not really an ogre, a giant, as it happened.
She will get the cold shoulder from me, literally.
Tyraxos loves people because he can manipulate them.
But maybe she would also like to stay with Vincent for some time. I'm sure he has a cabin or something.
Vincent will inform you that he has a house in Apgan that he never really visits. He just usually sleeps somewhere in the forest, really.
Okay, so no home in the woods.
No,
Well,
like
where
cabin
would
or
she like to
anything.
stay? Now that she's homeless. With us, or...
She would like to stay with you, yes.
Alright then.
I guess we'll make a new cave for her.
We might need to
You
buy.
can have the kobolds dig a new hole.
We might need to go buy her an ever burning torch.
We'll get some things.
You know,
sorted
we'll
for
figure
her.
it out. But it'll be okay. I can make food for her indefinitely, and I can make water, and I can make fire,
She
and
needs to learn the light cantrip.
and eventually in some years, she might actually learn to do real magic. We'll find
Otherwise, too
like
much of-
materials for her around.
Sure, so you just travel back to your cave, basically.
Asking, of course, also Vincent how we can find him. If he's like the fairy whom we can just sort of ask for in the forest, and he hears us somehow.
I'm not exactly a fairy. This kind of appearing thing is very difficult. unless you just happen to stumble on me in the forest, which is more likely than it sounds, I would probably have to just stay close if you need me.
Okay, well, we could always ask for the fairy to find you. Yeah.
Or just stay close so we can get you if we need anything.
Yeah, we might also need your help. We are kind of in a precarious situation.
Yes.
Rather dangerous.
The town seems to mistrust the Firebox when she approached. We didn't really realize it was probably the clothes.
Oh, they
perfect.
distrust everything and everyone. There's only one thing they dislike more than strangers and tax collectors. And that's everyone. They are
Strange
rather
like
grumpy folk.
Anabax will transform and ask if there's something she could do better.
Vincent stumbles over his words slightly.
makes
Oh
like
my,
that facial expression.
Yes, basically. Well, unless you do something similar to me and marry one of the daughters of the village, then it's very difficult to be included in the inner circle. And the entire town is the inner circle.
Oh. We weren't sure if it was because I was a female.
That was probably part of the reason. Also, your hair is rather remarkable. And being remarkable in Afghan is a very bad thing.
Well, let's not go there again then. That's a rather dour place.
I kinda liked it. There was so
Perhaps-
much order.
If you are well traveled in the land, perhaps you can inform us some of the southern trade roads. Jiraxa smiles.
The land and the trade routes are two different things, but I certainly know roads that I think are used by some of the caravans.
Good.
I think I know what you have in mind, but you would have to do whatever you're planning rather soon. It seems like it is only a couple of days until storm season starts properly.
It is next on our to-do list.
What are we to do?
Raid caravans for food for the winter.
Right.
Who knows, maybe they will have something nice for this girl as well. Although she's probably going to stay home while we do it.
Right.
Well then, shall I take you through the forest to wherever it is you're staying?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Should be a short trip.
I don't think we need to blindfold her this time, do we?
The forest is really its
Like-
own blindfold. Just as
Yeah.
the sprite
Where-
did.
At this
Vincent-
point, where's she going to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we'll just let her be herself.
Anabax
Of course,
looks at
still, she might still be sort of shocked, so it's important that we make her feel
Yes.
like...
Jiraxus will definitely talk to her.
Anabax looks at her and looks at the groups and, oh my god, she's such a tiny human.
Like that. So it says, well, certainly it's nice to have more people to talk to.
Are you saying I'm not fun?
I suppose we should get working on your magic as well.
You're ignoring me.
She nods. At both questions. As Vincent will then take you through a similar route as the sprite has taken you in the
I
past.
should have named him Sprite.
No, he's not supposed to be named Sprite. He's
Okay.
it's Finian.
Finian,
Taking lefts and rights and then 7 left turns in a row and then another right, and you really feel like you should be basically going the way you came, but eventually you do arrive at the stall of rice. Copy your tokens and stuff, and we'll go back.
Anabax looks to the groups and, am I never to go shopping in the town then?
We can find you another one.
That town seems to be troublesome.
Are there even other towns around here?
Oh, there's
You
the big
can
one.
look on the overview map.
Oh, we're already here.
You are on the Ashwood.
I am already on the Stobble Rise, at least.
So where would you like Vincent to stay, basically? Close or near or just anywhere? Or
Well, she would like to be close, right?
Yeah.
I don't see a reason to really stop that.
No, he is loyal enough to us, it seems to me.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Avendra will have someone to talk to who's not a dragon or a kobold, and that might be nice for her.
Who? Oh,
Avendra.
So,
He will then promise to visit occasionally.
I'm a human
Good.
right now.
but you don't like her.
I can read for her.
Chilactus will go back to the kobolds and order a new cave to be dug out. And,
Next to the one that's going to be our cave,
Yes,
like a
yes.
side cave to that one.
Can you draw it on the token
We
layer?
can't see the actual.
No, we can't
Yeah,
see
there.
that.
I will just let me just disable.
I mean,
vision.
it's the fog of war. That's right.
Yes.
I don't. There we go.
Oh look, they've gotten well. Well, I guess over here is ours. I was thinking like a side cave, maybe like this way.
Like an antechamber to us, basically.
Yeah, like another one next to it.
Or before it, you know, she's going to be the receptionist.
Sure. And then we have like the food one, and they have like the kobold there. It's gonna dig out a little bit bigger. It's very small right now.
Did she seem impressed with what Einavox can do?
She seems mostly confused, but there's probably some admiration in there as well.
Why is there a green dot right there?
I don't know.
I don't know.
And then we
I
gather the kobolds and we go raiding.
Yeah, I guess that's the next thing we're gonna do.
Mhm.
I'll ask if she's okay with staying here for a day.
She's okay with it.
Right. There will be books.
Yeah, books.
I'll put down a torch. Try not to
Um,
burn anything.
Chilactus will leave a ham and some Verisian pepper, you know, his favorite
I didn't.
in this dreary land.
And ask the kobolds, of course, to watch over her. Sort of the same rules as before for now.
All right. And I suppose we'll end the session here with you
Yeah.
having adopted a little child.
Yes, finally.
It's gonna be great.
That's what this campaign needed, a small kid.
Cohort to be.
It worked well for Star Wars Episode 1, and I don't see why it wouldn't work
Now we
now.
need like a weird swamp creature who can make jokes and like
You-
swallow chickens with his
you-
tongue.
Yes. Arvolix, you're up. You gotta take Swallow Whole after all. I mean, it's just
I mean, that's true.
get a frog tongue thing
Needs to
going.
be an
and-
ice dragon.
Exactly.
No.
So-
He also knows to be kind of dumb.
Do you want her as a cohort, Mankai? Is that what I'm hearing here?
I don't know. That's like so far in the future.
Since neither of you have leadership yet, even considering a cohort at the
Like,
moment is
that's
probably.
like level
Yeah.
7.
It is level 7.
She is certainly currently.
Right now, she's just here because I don't know. Kaix likes companionship. He likes having people around him. He's a sociable dragon. He has like an 18 charisma. He's very sociable.
I have Aina bed, Aina pillow, and Aina gem. That's all my friends.
So German.
She is certainly currently generally friendly towards you, as she's agreed to stay with you. But as a cohort, she would be currently somewhat useless because
Yeah,
she's a level
you can't
Sure,
do
1.
I
anything.
know,
I'm not
but I mean,
talking
in
about
20
actually making him
years.
do anything.
In 20 years, things might have changed, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
possibility.
Right now, she's here because we've kind of adopted her, or she's another. We are basically stray children, and she's another one.
She is also older than you.
That's true, but not mentally. We age already. We're very mature for our age.
That you cannot deny.
Unless when we fight with pillows.
Well,
What are you talking about, First Pillow?
that's what you do.
I'm sure in time she can learn to do things to be useful and train her magic and whatnot. I mean, it'll be a little harder life than before, but maybe there's some reward in it too. Not being constantly watched over, and you feel bad for the little farm boy, but who knows? Maybe we can kidnap him too.
Yeah, maybe he can come visit.
He'll join us too. We can have like
He's
a human protector to the cave. As long as he doesn't try to slay us again.
He's probably looking for her.
Yeah, well, he'll grow up and become an adventurer. Right? That's what adventurers do. And my love was taken away by dragons. Now I've grown up, and she must be grown up too, and she's now become like the draconic wizardess,
Sorceress.
serving
Probably.
with them.
Is she a wizard or a sorceress?
She is neither.
Well,
A witch.
She has like an arcane book, so that would probably.
She has
suggest
a
she
book.
wants to be a wizard.
Oh, she pretends to
Someday.
be a wizard. I see.
We can make
But
her
she'll
into
be
an
first level when she's 24, something
make
like
her-
that.
We can make her
So-
into an arcanist.
She can do whatever she wants really at this point. Probably just training like rogue skills mostly. I mean, at the moment, again, we just acquired her. We'll see what ends up happening. It's too early to make these decisions.
You know, if you want to talk mechanics, she is currently a level 1 commoner and nothing else.
Well,
The
we need to make,
level 1 common.
well, since she's a child, she can take NPC classes, meaning we need to train her an adept.
Yes.
Adept.
She should worship
Guess
us and from us draw power.
I'll have be an expert, to be honest.
Well, an adept will give her magic like she wants.
Yeah, that works. But she's young at the moment too, so I guess she would have like a first level commoner that's -2, and then a child is -1 as well. So she is like an eighth or something like that,
She's pretty low on the list.
because she's half and then 1/4 and then 1/8. So she's the same CR as a toad.
But don't you go what? Don't you go half, third, then quarter?
Do you go third as well? I think you like half it every time. I don't think there's like the diminishing returns kind of thing.
I just noticed how neat Einavok's area is compared to yours.
I just freeze over what's near me, whatever it is. I don't care what's there.
So yes, with the session basically officially over, Manon is saying, I hope you're now level 4. You will indeed almost with 99.9% probability be level 4.
We are
Oh,
level
heavens.
4.
You are level 4.
Because
Well,
that's no
sweet.
like you're missing 2 experience. Well, screw that.
But yeah, for recording's sake, session will end here. Next episode is going to be after session talk.